Before digital photography made everything instant, cameras like the Minolta X-370 taught you to slow down, think carefully, and make every single frame count. But it did it all without the frustrating complexity of other vintage cameras. By the end of this video, we're going to take a look at the pros and cons and the real-world performance of this 80s icon to see if it's the right film camera for you. Let's get to it. Released in 1984, the Minolta X-370 arrived during a massive transition period. Cameras were becoming more automated, but autofocus hadn't completely taken over yet. Minolta designed this to make creative photography approachable without stripping away control. By combining Aperture Priority with full manual override in a lightweight, affordable body, it became an instant hit. It was the go-to choice for students and beginners in the 80s and 90s because it struck a perfect balance between simplicity and hands-on shooting. It was so popular that production ran all the way from 1984 to 2005 across various submodels, like the X370N and the X9. Outside the United States, you might know it as the X300. It was even licensed and rebranded by companies like Seagull and Vivitar, with some versions staying in production past 2010. Even today, it remains one of the most recommended entry points into manual film photography. The layout here is incredibly straightforward. On the top left, you have your power switch, the film speed ISO ring, and the rewind crank which doubles as your backdoor release. Over on the right side, things are built for speed. You've got your film advance lever, the frame counter, a safe load indicator to make sure your film's actually pulling, and your shutter dial. The X370 gives you speeds from 1/1000th of a second to 1 second, plus bulb mode for long exposures. On the front, you'll find a grip that makes it feel much more secure than the older all-metal slabs. There's also the self-timer LED, an AE lock switch for holding your exposure, and the classic Minolta SR bayonet lens mount. Depending on whether you have the original, the N, or the S model, the back will feature a memo holder or a handy film window. Underneath, it's got your standard tripod socket, battery chamber, and contacts for an external motor drive if you want to spice things up. But the real magic happens when you look inside the viewfinder. The X370 features Minolta's famous Acute-Matte focusing screen. It's remarkably bright. Right in the center, you get a split image spot and a microprism ring to help you nail focus every time. Along the side, a column of LEDs clearly indicates your current shutter speed, warns you if you're over or underexposed, and displays your shooting mode. If you're using the newer X370N, you even get a little window at the bottom showing you your current f-stop. Because focusing is entirely manual, the X370 naturally encourages a slower, more thoughtful style of photography, but it never feels intimidating. One of its biggest strengths is how it grows with you. If you're in a rush or just learning, you can pop it into Aperture Priority mode by switching it to auto. You choose the f-stop and the camera handles the shutter speed flawlessly. When you're ready for total creative freedom, you flip it over to full manual. Ultimately, your image quality comes down to your film stock and your glass. But Minolta's Rokkor lenses are legendary for a reason. They deliver gorgeous contrast, sharp details, and that classic warm vintage rendering that people fall in love with. Here are a few frames that I captured with it. Now, a quick word on reliability. Unlike older fully mechanical cameras, the X370 relies entirely on batteries to power its electronic shutter and light meter. If your batteries die, the camera dies. The good news is it runs on two simple, widely available LR44 or SR44 batteries, or a single CR1/3N lithium cell. Keep a spare set in your camera bag, and you'll generally find this to be an incredibly dependable machine, provided the 40-year-old electronics are healthy. Let's look at the pros and cons of this camera. Let's start off with the pros. You can easily find these between $50 and $150. The Aperture Priority mode makes learning effortless. You get access to the phenomenal and affordable Minolta Rokkor lens lineup. And it's compact and very lightweight. Let's turn our attention to the cons. The camera is battery dependent, so no battery, no shooting. You can't preview your exact background blur. And the lighter build doesn't have that heavy premium all-metal feel of an Olympus OM1 or Minolta SRT. So who is the Minolta X-370 actually for? If you're a student or a beginner stepping into film for the first time, or a photographer who wants a lightweight SLR that doesn't get in its own way, this is an absolute home run. However, if you want autofocus, a rugged all-metal build, or a purely mechanical camera that works without batteries, you'll probably want to look elsewhere. Here are some more pictures taken with the Minolta X-370. At the end of the day, the Minolta X-370 is all about accessibility. It gives you just enough automation to keep things fun, but enough manual control to help you grow as a photographer. It's simple, highly capable, and still one of the absolute best entry points into film photography. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe for more analog content, and let me know down in the comments if you're thinking of making this your first film camera. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.